Hi Taurus, I was just about to start recording when Miss Safi visited us, huh? Do you love Taurus? Huh? What? You little cuddly thingy. You love Taurus? Here, say them. Say you love them. Say you love them. Hey, come on. Don't knock it down, okay? No. No, they're wrecking the cameras like that. Okay, come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you got a little furry bum here. Come on, lie down. Lie down. So, Taurus, I shuffled the cards, and this is Safi. So, this is the one that popped out, and it is deception. And someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Well, yes, Safi. You have this, like, mask. Show your little mask. So, this actually talks about, not necessarily the deception that is on the outside, of course, that's a possibility, but it also talks about that we have to think about the masks that we wear and the projections that other people have about us, right? And you know, like when, and I'm not saying this is you, like when they kind of arrest this guy who has been committing horrible murders and like, oh, he was such a sweet guy, he was just living next door. So this is sometimes like when the two of our sides do not marry, and we kind of have to look into that. So what is the bottom of the deck? Ooh, holy smoke. So there is the appearance. Holy smoke. I usually look to majors. So we have the soulmate card. There is like some kind of embarrassment. There is like some kind of things that didn't work out. Maybe it was ongoing relationship. Maybe you felt deceived from somebody else, and that kind of like went into full-blown breakup and disaster and possibly moving on. The Magician, it's kind of like opportunity. It can be created, but then there is like still pain around it, maybe still not being able to let go. Well, it's pretty heavy. So I know that Taurus and Scorpio are going to have the hardest time with the Leo solar eclipse. So I know that everybody's saying Leo, but I kind of like don't see it, so because you're on the other axis. So let's see. Something is not moving on, or it's moving on in a not a really exciting way. Four of Wands is generally basically, fours are generally building cards, right? It's kind of building the next stage here. Like now the lady has left the building, so then we can really talk freely. So maybe this is also talking about kind of working too much, maybe not having a fun, kind of like you have to stop and smell the roses. And it's Queen of Wands. It's kind of like experience, excitement again in your life. Queen of Wands is somebody who is motivating with basically enthusiasm, somebody who cares for others, helps others regarding inspiration or passion. So sort of like this could be you, that you could be taking those elements upon yourself, kind of like getting re-spirited, because they're like both wands, right? And well, there is like a romantic offer over here, Knave of Chalices, and that's sort of like in the root. It's kind of like brewing. So passion and romance, kind of like pretty cool. You're leaving the anxieties in the past. It looks like you're able to slowly. What's up? What's up? Pretty girl? Are you a pretty girl? Really? Do you like Taurus? A lot? Do you have anxiety? Huh? Really? You want a massage? Really? You want a massage? Okay, you come here. You come here. Come, Safi. You come here. There you go. So guys, this is talking about how to process it. It is reversed. Yes, you don't like this mouse. This is reverse, so this means it's already kind of like process of feeling edgy, feeling the world is against you, kind of like already kind of like left in the past. This talks about the intense mental processing where it's just like too much, like when you're really highly wound up, right, and almost like hyperventilating. It's like it will be me after 6 coffees, like climbing the walls. It's just like kind of like you cannot handle it, nothing you do helps, right? And some people kind of resort to addictions when they're in this high anxiety state. So Six of Cups, there is like, look, you have this like cups axes, and so far we still didn't see Pentacles, which is your suit. The Six of Cups is talking about, you know, something from the past. It could be like your child, it could be, you know, just simply somebody you knew a long time ago, somebody from back home. It can talk about nostalgia, it can talk about happy memories, but it also talks about, you know, attaching supernatural powers to the past. Oh, you know, back then it was like, so life was easy, etc, etc, right? Sort of like stuck, and this kind of like would kind of go hand in hand. So let's see what happens. But guys, you're getting unstuck. This is lovely. You're getting King of Chalices flavor, or somebody's appearing in your future, and somebody is a great listener. It's somebody who is very compassionate, a really soft place to pull. It's somebody you, to me, this is my favorite king. He is really gentle, and you know, he's always he will try to understand you. You know how sometimes you always kind of deal with people, and sometimes we have to reconcile that sometimes we do things that are not necessarily really good. So this particular king is the one, just by listening, making you understand what we did wrong, right? So it's kind of like self-correction when you're around people like that who are so great, right? So it's like when you see this enormous compassion and empathy, and possibly sympathy as well, right? Because empathy is on the outside, where somebody just like kind of empathize because you're just another human. But so it's not greatest kind of quality. Sympathy is what is really important, when somebody really feels for you and maybe even feel what you're feeling. Wow. Are you feeling betrayed? Are you the sneaky one, or you feel somebody is sneaking on you? Well, this certainly is an independence card, but it's also, look, the mice are partying while the cats are sleeping, kind of a thing, right? So Seven of Swords is generally talking about repositioning yourself. Someone is maybe taking something away from you, and you have to figure out if you had it in the first place and how this happened. It's a mental process. Like you see, this is still kind of like related here to this anxiety that you're experiencing over something, right? And in the environment, yeah, you're feeling either exhausted, or somebody is not committing, or something like is very strenuous, because you have the strength reverse. Now we are going into this August solar eclipse, and I see this card is kind of connecting to me, because this is a Leo card, right? And eights are basically connecting to the strength card. So getting this reversed is definitely, you know, losing control over something, and somebody might lose control on you. Just be very careful. It's a very strong energy. So you have lots of, see, I still didn't see Pentacles, and there it is, and this is not a great one. Knave of Pentacles, fears that something is not going to move forward. And well, this is good. Like, look guys, you really are not feeling yourself this entire period, and altogether it's a positive, it's a net positive. Why? Because you are coming from some kind of period. Altogether you're kind of more or less enthusiastic. It's still, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, hey, it's a summer, let's take advantage of it, let's date, let's do this. And yeah guys, they're going to be a new romance. I'm not going to lie to you, but be careful about this person, because it's not necessarily the person. I think this is where deception kicks in. So do not just stop dating this person because of this card. This card sometimes can talk about going deep inside of ourselves and see, wait a minute, maybe we have unrealistic expectations, right? Because the key on this card is like the two swords are down, right? So we have to realize that maybe like not everything that we want can be met in a person, and just because they're not giving it to us, it doesn't mean that the person is wrong and that they have to be disqualified. And this is maybe a calling for you to develop compassion, to kind of like go extra step to listen to someone, to also extend your kindness and generosity, because it looks like it's going to be something happening this period that you actually really didn't experience before. You're like morphing into different flavors, because look at how many cups you have. 3. And then you have like 2 wands, and then you have 3 swords. So it is like mental energy, it's a fire energy, it's emotional energy. So you're not really grounded, so you're completely out of your element. You're in the element of trying to find something different. So that is pretty cool. And yet not positive. You're moving forward, you're cutting off things that don't work out. You're kind of saying, oh well, you know, I take these pieces of you, because just think of that, how a manager thinks, right? You know that when you hire someone, the person most likely hoping is going to work out okay, so you're keeping your fingers crossed, but you also are aware that person needs to be managed. So something's happened because the new person needs to kind of integrate. It's a long process, 6 months to a year, so you have to kind of coach and train this person and kind of teach them about the environment. The same way as in relationships, you really have to adapt to a new person, because they have this long way of coming to this point where they met you, and so do you. So kind of to integrate that and understand takes time, and also takes understanding and questioning, why did you come from? So the problem is, you're Taurus, I'm Aquarius, we are both strong fixed signs. Issues like sometimes we make our mind up, and like we are like a dog with a bone, like why, like literally almost like become a bully, right? You guys are going through a period that's going to be very different. You're going to be soft. You're going to be Taurus in a grass that sleeps with butterflies, and you know, with fluffy sheeps, and I just can't imagine like one big Taurus in one of those mattresses commercial, kind of lying down. And this is how soft you're going to be. And you are going to have the others coming onto you with being overly pushy. You'll be able to cut out things that don't work out. And toward the end of August, things will start to resolve really quickly. So I want to see, first of all, this deception card, because this looks like I don't want this to take you out from your course, because it can feel bad when this happens. Yeah, something has to die. Something that doesn't serve you well, and it could be part of your domestic kind of like arrangement. I don't know if you're living with someone, or its house can also mean what world and what life you want to build. So let me see this, like King of Chalices. Who is this person? This one turned around. Ooh, this person, prison. That's not good. A prison could talk about a married guy, but keep in mind that I'm seeing these cards only upright. So this can actually also mean that somebody just got out of jail, literally, but it also means that maybe somebody got freed just recently from a very difficult situation, and maybe this is why they're compassionate, or maybe it could be you, that you're like exiting the situation and you're giving this extra stage. You see, this can be really getting out of relationship and realizing that you have been your own worst enemy, because look at this, enemy and friend, right? So this is a conflict, and we can kind of say, well, one kind of negates another, but I'm not feeling it this way. I like to read each and every card, and this means, yes, we have to kind of recognize parts of us, because that's why you have the Ace of Swords. See, it's kind of like finding out who your really friends are, and if you've been going through a difficult situation, then you will see which people did understand you and which people didn't understand you. So it's kind of like finding out issues, and this maybe is calling for that compassion as well. Maybe you have to reconcile these two parts of yourself, what basically you don't like in yourself and in the others, so you can kind of like avoid it in the future. And what do you like and value in people, right? And that maybe is going to take you out of this jail. Maybe this is kind of like the end of the conflict that kind of creates this kind of anxiety. So let me just see this strength and that Ace of Swords. So what is the strength? Because this is usually lack of commitment, and that could be that as well, that you're meeting somebody who is You see, this would mean married, and this also could mean married. This could be the deception over here. So because the King of Chalices came upright, I don't think this person really wants to be deceptive. It is just like they don't have their own clarity. They're like such a nice person to start with that maybe they're not aware of the issues they're going through, and that's kind of what makes sense, that kind of like dot all your I's and cross your all T's. Something has to die before this works. So maybe just make sure if you're getting involved with somebody else, this person has passed in the past. So let's see, what is this 8 over here, because I think that's connected also to the lunar eclipse. There you go, there is like a pentacle flavor, constancy. You kind of value constancy in people. You kind of want to see that things are progressing slowly but surely, and like, you know, win the race that way. And what else did I say? I want to see that Ace of Swords. So see, let's see, what is this? What is this? This is a karma card, by the way. So obviously something that's going to happen. The spirit is going to be extremely powerful for you. Okay, here we go. A whole bunch. Child. What else do I have? Waiting. We're waiting for a child. It's actually excellent. Like, look at this. So these are first two cards that came out. So child is generally talking about something new, just like the aces. It's a new beginning, it's a potential, but this aces are just potential. It's just leaving the matches and a candle on the table, and it's up to you if you want to marry the two. So you maybe were waiting for something, and that's something that has been brewing from the past. Maybe you already know this person. Maybe you had some kind of concepts and ideas, and it's finally happening. You're going to be very happy. Look at this joyfulness. You are going to feel proud, very proud, but in a good way. You will, you know, be in love. You'll be very thoughtful, just like the King of Chalices. And this is going to bring you enormous surprise. You're going to be acting completely out of your element, adding this extra layer to your personality. So instead of like this pragmatic, let's do this, let's do that, let's eat, you're kind of very earthy. The dates with you guys absolutely fantastic, but you are going to get into much next higher level. And you see here is like showing this enthusiasm and everything. You know, the reason why you're getting there is because I think, talking about this empathy and sympathy and compassion, you have been hurt so much that now you're realizing the value of giving people an extra time to listen to them, to understand them. And looks like you are right now really layering this on top of you, and this is really big of you. So this is a really, you really deserve this surprise, and it's going to be some nice surprise. So I don't even know how to title this, because you're cleaning the old, but it's more than cleaning the old. It's like going into new, and you have to be able to recognize red flags. So it's all good, guys. I guess love is in the cards. Proudness, love, and joyfulness. So I have to figure out how to title it. So Taurus, this is a general reading. For your private one, please contact me on my website. And also I have 2 Taurus monthlies that happened by mistake, and I don't know what possessed me, but must be a reason, so you can check them both. Obviously I have 2 different flavors of Tauruses coming through, so I'm going to put them both at the very end of this video so you can check them out. And also there are X series that are out, and if you're new here, please subscribe. That's going to let you have a new release as soon as it's out. And please like and share and join my Facebook. And the monthlies for the next month, for September, are going to be coming out in about 7 to 10 days. Love you, Taurus. I would love to hear your comment. What the heck is this prison? Tell me about this prison, and tell me about what deception this is. I really want to know, and good for you moving forward toward love. And I love you. Bye. Well, thank you for watching, and please remember to join my Facebook as well, where you can get different tips and possibly healing as well on daily basis. Thanks again. Until the next time, love you.